Alright guys, here we go, number 4. This is really the last one that's of any difficulty. Once we finish this one, the rest are pretty easy because we've done all the hard work already. Okay, number 4. So I'm going to approach it the same way as before. P is equal to anything that divides 15. That's 1, 3, 5, and 15, right? That's it, yeah? Yeah, sweet, I guess that's too bad. And then Q is going to be 1 or 2. Okay, so I have two things Q could be. That means P over Q, we're going to all the whole numbers first, plus or minus 1, plus or minus 3. Oh, that's crazy. Plus or minus 5, plus or minus 15. Then we're also going to get things that are over 2. So 1 over 2, plus or minus 1/2. Oh, sorry. That's an ugly plus or minus. Plus or minus 1/2, plus or minus 3/2, plus or minus 5/2, and plus or minus 15/2. Those are all odd, so they don't divide nicely. I don't get any repetition. All right, we'll do the same thing as usual. We're gonna check these guys. Let me see if I can spot check first. So if I plug in 1, is that gonna give me, let's see, 1, minus 3, minus 10, plus 15. That's not equal to 0, so that does not work. What about negative 1? Negative 2, minus 3. This is going to be plus 10 because negative 1 would be negative 10 times negative 1, so that's going to be plus 10 plus 15. That's not equal to 0. So 1, negative 1 does not work. After that, I'm just going to, because I don't like to do too much math, I'm just going to skip the next one and check. So 3, that's 2, negative 3, negative 10, 15. Those are my coefficients. We do the usual thing. Bring the 2 down. Okay, that's going to be 2. 2 times 3 is 6. It's going to be 3. That's 9. Negative 1. Negative 3. So that is not 0. Did not work. All right. Let's try negative 3 then. Okay, bring the 2 down. It's going to be negative 6 this time. That's negative 9. That's going to be positive 18. Just positive 8. 3 times 8 is 24, negative 24, and that is not equal to 0. So that does not work either. All right. No, let's see. Those didn't work. 1, 3 didn't work. Let's try the 5s. Let's try the 5s. If I can avoid the 15, I'm going to avoid the 15 because that's a big number. Let's try the 5s first. Okay, that's 2. 2 times 5 is 10. And that's going to be 7 times 5 is 35. That's 25. Times 5 is just way too big. That's 125. That does not work. Okay, it looks like we're getting farther and farther away as we get larger, yeah? So probably what's going to end up happening is we're going to actually end up with one of the fraction numbers as being our answer. In fact, let me kind of skip some steps and just kind of take a guess. Let's start with the halves. Let's try 1/2 and negative 1/2 next. And it works the same way as with whole numbers. Same exact steps. Bring the 2 down. 2 times 1/2 is just 1. Negative 3 plus 1 is negative 2. Negative 2 times 1/2 is negative 1. So negative 10 plus negative 1, that is negative 11. Okay, this is going to be a fraction, negative 11/2. So that is not going to work because there's no way that's going to be 0. So nope, did not work. All right, let's move on to the positive 1/2. But actually, we're getting closer. It seems like we're kind of closer. So if this half doesn't work, I'm going to try 3/2 next. Negative 1/2 next. So bring the 2 down again. 2 times negative 1/2. That's negative 1. Negative 3 plus negative 1 is negative 4. Negative 4 times negative 1/2 is positive. What is that? 2. Positive 2. Negative 10 plus 2 is negative 8. And negative 8 times half is going to be positive 4. So that's not 0. Okay, did not work. All right, let's try 3/2 next then. These seem to be at least more in the vicinity of an answer. So I'm going to try 3 halves and then negative 3 halves. Also because I'm trying to avoid that 15 since it's a big number. I like to work with that if I can. Avoid it. Not that it matters because you guys are probably using calculators. Okay, bring the 2 down. 2 times 3 halves is 3. Negative 3 plus 3 is 0. So that times that is also 0. Negative 10 times minus that is negative 10. Okay, negative 10 times 3 is negative 30. Divided by 2 is negative 15. So that is 0 right there. Yes, we found it. 3 halves is the root we wanted. So the first root is 3 halves. Nice. Okay, now that we have that, the resulting expression is 2x squared minus 10. So that one is actually just a simple quadratic. We don't even need to use the quadratic formula this time. We can, but it's not necessary because I'll show you why right now. This is 2x squared minus 10. Let me just write the polynomial first. Okay, I'm looking for what makes that equation equal to 0, right? By the way, the quadratic equation, what it's always doing for us is it's telling us when this polynomial is equal to 0. That's the whole point of it, right? So in this particular case, what that means is you just want to solve this equation, but I don't even need to go through the trouble of the quadratic equation. This is an easy one to solve. Just add 10 to both sides. 2x squared equals to 10. Divide both sides by 2. X squared is equal to 5. So x is equal to plus or minus the square root of 5. Now, if you don't want to think about this and you just want to plug this straight into the quadratic equation, you can. Just remember b is 0 in this case. A is 2, c is negative 10. And just plug the values in. It'll come out the same just after you simplify. All right, answering our question, we have x is equal to plus or minus the square root of 5. And so we get square root of 5 and negative square root of 5. Those are our 3 roots. Done and done.